What's up, you guys? And welcome back to another episode of TV Unleashed, where we talk about your favorite topics dealing with school, social media, you name it. My name is Cameron Smith.
My name is Armani Biggers.
And I'm Morgan Hendricks.
So sit back, relax, and let's get ready to get unleashed. All right.
Get it.
Well, happy 420 to you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whatever that means to anybody in their household. Me and my household. Okay.
As for me,
That's for me and my household.
That's what me and my household type of day. Okay. All right, let's get into it. What's as you see, the name of the episode today is 420 special. So what y'all got for the viewers today? What y'all got?
Well, look, we're gonna get right into it. There's a lot of things associated with this day, mainly being, the association with marijuana. And there's a lot of stigmas and things that go with that, and we're gonna get right into that. What do you guys think about like the day in general? Like, what are some things that you guys have heard about 420?
This is funny. This is funny. We see it. Okay. For me, I guess try not to expose too much. For me, this day is kind of like, it's a regular day. I guess if you're a smoker or if you do anything dealing with marijuana, whether that be CBD or straight marijuana, I guess this means that you're gonna get blazed or high or whatever you want to call it today, and celebrate. I guess a day of celebration of weed. For me, it's just another regular day. But for everybody else who might partake in those activities, it might mean a whole lot more.
Yeah, like to piggyback what he's saying, it's another day for me. But like when I'm with my friends, whatever, it's a day for relaxation. We just chilling, not doing too much. We at the crib, and then extracurricular activities may happen. I don't know, may or may not happen, whatever. But
Look,
if
that
it do,
can mean anything.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
So many things.
that's what it is. Yeah, if it happened, it happened. It's cool. As long as it's done responsibly and in moderation, that's fine. So for me, it's just a day of just chilling back and relaxing. How everybody does.
Yeah, I understand. Do you either of y'all know like where it comes from? Like where the lore of kind of like 420 comes from?
I don't actually. I would love to know.
So I guess if we're gonna talk about it, not really because Google kind of gave a very vague answer as to why, but let me see if I can find this for you guys. Let me see. It says, well, here's what Google said when I typed it in. The meaning behind 420 weed. It says the number 420 has become a secret code among potential roommates and people on dating websites, a way to covertly let someone know that they welcome marijuana into their home or love life. So, but there's another one, which says origins in 1971, 5 high school students in San Rafael, California, used the term 420 in connection with a plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop based on a treasure map made by the grower. The Waldos referred to this plan with the phrase 420 Louise. So take that as you will. I don't know. Let's ask some of our viewers. What does 420 mean to you guys?
Or does it even have any significance? Because for me, like growing up, of course you hear like 420 that we smoke weed, da 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 da, but it's like it didn't really have any meaning or anything or any bearing. So I like just now you reading that off was like the first time I'd heard like where it came from, I guess.
Yeah, it was a surprise to me, honestly. It's just a random fact, honestly.
It's just, I guess it's just everybody has their own vague meaning behind it. So it's kind of just like it's a sensitive topic, honestly. And I say that because, hold on, I'm like all over the screen. It's a sensitive topic to talk about because as you know, weed is not legal in Texas. And so it's kind of like we get on here and we're gonna have this conversation, but a lot of people might not say they smoke weed or partake in those activities because you never know who's watching. Everybody's views on weed is different. Especially if you're in a professional world, some of your coworkers might smoke weed, but you'll never know. It's just kind of a tough topic because you don't want to really expose too much. Just depending on everybody's views. Not everybody agrees with that. So, I mean, it's just kind of like, I want to, like, let's say if it was for me, I want to say oh yeah, I smoke weed, but you never know. I can have a teacher on the live or on social media and they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to have to call you in for a meeting. Drug test.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
That random
drug test. And
yeah, I completely understand. He's like, it means a treasure map to her.
Yes, I mean,
who knows? We don't know. I don't know. Do you guys know?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
But overall, I guess this day is a goofy day in a sense, kind of like happy 420, you guys. Toke up. I mean, even if you don't smoke, you just make jokes. I mean,
right.
Yeah. Right.
And in addition to that, like we've seen like depictions of marijuana on screen and in music and things like that. Can you guys think of like kind of either one of your favorite depictions on like movies or even one of your favorite like albums or anything that kind of references weed or 420 heavily? What you got?
Okay. Well, you want me to start? I'll start. So, all right. So with movies, of course, I think most people agree with me. But How High, the first one, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the second one.
I don't want to say the second one is trash, but it's just not my speed. It's just not my speed. I just gonna leave that where it's at. And I want to say, music wise, I want to say anything from 2009 Wiz Khalifa. It's like that's all and then and then anything Wiz Khalifa and Currency together, like I would listen to that anytime. Whenever it's that time, that's what I listen to. So
Me, I have a few movies. I grew up on movies, and my family loves movies. So I'm trying to read them off the list because I made a little list. Okay, so for beginners, you have Half Baked, you have The Wash, How High, Pineapple Express, in high school, which was Snoop Dogg. And those are some of there's a whole lot of movies with them, but these are some of the staples in my house that we like to watch. And you got another one?
Yeah, I got an honorable mention. Leprechaun 2, Back to the Hood, because
my God,
it was nothing but weed all up in there. That's one of my favorite ones. But
that was a funny movie, by the way.
That was a funny one.
Wild movie. Oh my gosh.
And they in the hood. That's where it got me, in the hood.
Yes.
And then he went back to the hood the second time. He's like, I gotta go back. It was fun.
Right.
Ooh, Lord, once you go black, you just can't go back. No, let me stop.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Well, look, one of our viewers says, she's a child of the 70s, so Cheech and Chong were the kings of weed comedy back then. Yep, I've definitely heard, through the grapevine. Yeah. Cheech and Chong was, kind of the masters. They out there just hotboxing wherever.
Right.
And the 70s, I feel like the 70s and the 80s was a time for weed to flourish. Everybody was just doing
Everybody was doing it, yeah.
I mean, in the lawn, in the house, in the, at the studio. And speaking of music, from the question earlier, we've seen, and over time, a lot of artists have shown that they do weed. Pictures, videos, studio. We see it. We hear it in their lyrics. We see it in their videos. We see it magazine covers. I mean, weed is kind of becoming more, acceptable in the communities, and has become more acceptable in a lot of communities, like California. What's that place called? Oh Lord, I want to say Nashville, but it ain't Nashville. With the mountains, it's cold up there. Colorado, there it is.
Colorado, yeah.
Think of it. Colorado. I think it's legal in New York. Don't add me on that.
Yes, it just became legal in New York.
In New York, okay, New York. Yes. So, I mean, it's becoming more acceptable in this era. So, why Texas ain't made it yet? We don't know yet. But hey,
Right. And speaking to that connection, yeah,
Did
she
y'all
just
hear about
brought
that new purple Urkel? Y'all heard about that? What y'all think about that?
that's wild. If y'all haven't heard, Jaleel White, who played Steve Urkel on the Family Matters series, has just released his own strain of marijuana called the Purple Urkel.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
the video.
And it's
and he
also
actually did. I'm about to say he actually did a promo video with Snoop Dogg, who of course is notorious for smoking marijuana, but it's just like, wow. I was kind of caught off guard by that one, but I was like, that is perfect marketing.
Purple
he got that
Urkel.
bag. He got that bag for that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
He got at least 50,000 dress up as Steve Urkel one time.
I think
You
it's
already know because he been running from that role forever.
a
A minute,
minute.
he's like, I do not want to do that again.
But I think it was perfect. I think it was a perfect fit for that. I mean, and the
Oh yeah,
brand
for sure.
name was just
Yeah.
perfect. Purple Urkel, like that's great. Like we gonna remember that. Perfect marketing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back after these quick messages.
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
And welcome back.
Right back. Yes, sir.
PB Unleashed is back. And of course, today is the 420 special. So right now we want to get into more of the serious side of weed use and marijuana use in the US, because there are some very, very critical things going on right now in terms of drug laws and things like that. As a lot of you know, marijuana has been heavily criminalized up until a couple years ago, maybe in like 2012, 2016, somewhere around there. But what do you guys think about like the drug laws right now? Or what do you have for the people on kind of even incarceration rates? We all know that Black people are kind of more heavily policed for things like that. What's you guys take on that?
And if I'm gonna start, I'm glad you said
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
Viewers, put in the comments this right here. The real question is: will all the Black and brown people currently in prison for weed possession used prior to its capitalism explosion be released? Young white guys are making stock. I feel like piggyback or for my response in answering this kind of question, I feel like drug laws right now should be modified because, as like I said stated before, everything is becoming more acceptable. We're seeing it. More states are opening up weed, so I feel like anybody who is in prison or in jail for weed charges for possession of weed should be released, or their sentences should be reduced, because I feel like it is not fair, especially for the brown and Black community. We are policed more, and I feel like that these cases should be reopened, and they should be able to get out on bail, or their sentence should be wiped away because it's legal now. So why am I in prison? Why am I in jail?
Right.
See if these my white counterparts are making bank on it. They're owning weed businesses and selling it while we're getting locked up behind bars just for having a gram in a car. Probably not even that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Armani, did you have anything on that?
Well, piggyback off what Cameron was saying, like I feel like it's unfair as well for for the Black and brown community to be targeted with drug laws and all that, and like the war on drugs and all that. Because I feel like it's a system set up for us to fail anyway. Because drugs are being brought into our communities first, and then so of course it's a system set up. Of course we don't have jobs and all that provided for us, but you're gonna put drugs in our community to make money. So of course we're gonna do that, and then you're gonna put us in jail, and then you're gonna let our counterparts, the white community, allow them to make money off of it while we just sitting in jail and giving them further advantage above us. So while we get out of jail, we starting at ground zero and they up here because they make money off the same thing we was trying to do. I just feel like it's just set up for us to fail from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's really unfair, and I feel like it needs to change immediately. And that's all I gotta say.
I'm right there with you. Just to give a couple of facts about, the marijuana laws in Texas specifically, uh, you can get a Class B misdemeanor just from 2 ounces, really under 2 ounces, because it's still illegal in Texas to use recreational marijuana. You can get a whole misdemeanor. You'll catch a charge over 2 ounces, which if you cooking or whatever, 2 ounces really isn't that much. And it's kind of easy to go over and kind of mismeasure, if that makes sense. Because the next charge, like, you can get a felony for 4 ounces or more, and at that point, it just seems like it's a bit excessive. You know, Black people are policed on marijuana a completely different. Well, we're policed in general on a completely different level than our counterparts, than our white counterparts. Um, it's kind of crazy to think about, but Black people, according to the ACLU in 2010, Black people were 4 times more likely than whites to be arrested for a marijuana possession. Like, things like that, it just, oh, and then on top of all of the other issues with policing, which we talked about last week, it's just, it's too much going on. And it just seems like this is not an issue where it requires so many resources or so many people on the job thinking about arresting people for marijuana use. Um, but yeah, what do you guys think about kind of the incarceration rates? I know that another fact from the ACLU was that in 2010, cops made one pot arrest every 37 seconds. Every
Man,
37 seconds in the US. Yes. So it's kind of rampant how we see just the over policing of Black people in all areas. And then, of course, when it comes to drugs, we're put on as the face of, immorality or anything when it comes to things like that. When it's like there are so many benefits to using marijuana that people are just now kind of coming to light with, if that makes sense.
Agree.
hmm,
Agree. Agree.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Um, and you're right. There's so many benefits. And speaking of that, CBD is one of them, which is CBD is now legal everywhere. It's basically without THC, so you get the relaxation and the calming benefits of that without feeling the effects on the mind, the brain, which THC has. Um, I think that it is sad how that a lot of people are people of color are getting arrested for these minor charges when our white counterparts are out here banking and making millions off this. And it's just sad because drugs are placed in our communities in the 70s and 80s. And we took the drug trade just to survive in our communities because jobs were not available. We were getting laid off. We were getting the bottom of the barrel job. So as our community, we felt like we had to take on this or do anything we could just to get our family to survive, our community to survive, drugs being one of them. A lot of our family members or family members are in prison for drugs, selling drugs. But do we look at the demographics of are these people in food deserts, job deserts, healthcare deserts? I mean, we have to look at stuff like that before we take judgment. And that goes with a lot of police being placed in the community and being open to police patrol these communities. Definitely, you'll never know until you experience it yourself what our people go through. So just to put them in jail, so to get off our street is just another way to say systematic racism. It's another systematic racism, basically what it is for me.
Yeah, I completely understand. And just to piggyback off of that, there's still a lot of people that are still incarcerated off of the three strike rule. Of course, we know about the on drugs that happened in the 80s that, there's a lot of controversy about because of how these drugs are even getting into our communities. But in addition to that, you have Bill Clinton in the 90s with the three strike rule, where people can be incarcerated for life sentences off of nonviolent drug possession charges. I was watching Kamau Bell's United Shades of America, and he was talking to people about he went into a jail and he was asking these people like kind of what were their charges and things like that. And some of them were just in there simply because that third strike was a lowly little marijuana possession charge. And it sucks that things like that happen, and then that even retroactive justice isn't done to let these people out. But yeah, let's go to a quick break real quick, guys, and then we'll get right back and wrap the conversation on marijuana. Right.
Right. And
Welcome back.
ooh.
Look, we're missing your paddles this week, Cameron.
Yes, as y'all see, I'm not at home today. I am back on campus doing some stuff for school, but Thursday the paddles will be back for sure. But we do have breaking news. Not to change the topic of today's show, but the verdict has been reached in the trial over George Floyd's death. Let me read a little bit of it. This is from what is this, NBC News now. The jury has reached a verdict.
Oh my. Can you, dang, I think we lost him right when.
Yeah. Well, to piggyback on what he's saying, the jury has reached a verdict for the death of George Floyd, and then the decision will be read today at 4:30 p.m. So be on the lookout for any news networks, Twitter, whatever. 4:30 p.m. The verdict will be read.
And is that 4:30 p.m. Central Time or
Central
is that
Time, yes.
Central?
4:30
Okay.
p.m. Central Time, yes.
Oh, am I back? I'm back.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we got you, bro. We got you.
Thank y'all. But
Yeah.
yes, the verdict has been picked. So y'all go look that up. I don't really want to get into that too much today because that is not the topic of our show. But y'all, please be on the lookout for that. And
Yeah,
just
we just hope that justice is actually served
I
for
pray
once.
it is.
For once. But
ooh, that's just I don't even get into that. Don't even get to that.
yeah.
Whew.
But getting back to today's topic, we're at 420. Today is 420, and today, of course, is the 420 special. And we're just talking about some of the light and darkness of weed in the U.S. So getting back to some of the lighter side, what are some myths or things that you guys heard maybe like growing up or saw in movies or in things like that about weed?
Well, for me, when I grew up, they made weed seem like you're just gonna be on a whole nother planet, like you just seeing stuff and like you just a whole nother person, like your whole like you just outside of your body. And then like in that commercial where that girl she was smoking, right? And then she sat on the couch and like her body was deflated. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, it made me not wanna do it. It's like I don't wanna. It seems so unpleasant. Like growing up, they made weed like seem like it's just a whole nother altering drug. But it's not like that. It's not really. It really is nothing compared to what I thought it would be. I'd say that. So
To piggyback off what you said, I definitely agree. A lot of people made it seem like it was really bad and a negative thing. They painted it in a negative connotation, saying that it was a gateway drug. That if you start with weed, you're gonna start doing meth, crack, and all that other stuff. But I do have a list of 5 myths according to verywellmind.com. So let's get it off if y'all want me to. The first one is marijuana makes people mellow. Marijuana increases sexual arousal. Marijuana is safer than tobacco, and marijuana is safe because it is natural. That is some of the myths according to verywellmind.com. I don't know how true they are. It's not for me to say, but take it how you will.
Right. And I just to piggyback off of your point, definitely one of the things that, I heard about growing up was that weed was a gateway drug, and that same commercial that you were speaking about, Armani, where
Yeah.
it's like flat, and it's just like
Just lay on the
why does it have to be that? Like,
right.
can't
Like
be
that's crazy.
productive.
To
But
that extreme, really.
what'd you say?
I said to that extreme, really.
It
Right.
was
Fall on the
extreme.
plate, fall on the ground after the first puff. Like, dang,
Wild.
teeth gonna fall
Wild.
out.
Right.
Right.
Like
Like what? Like what?
too much
Ooh.
going on. But of course, with those myths, of course, there are dangers with using marijuana. The main thing, which is just like drinking or anything like that, if you ain't roll it or you ain't pack the bowl, don't smoke it. If you don't know what it is, you don't use it. Edibles, anything like that. Because of course, with the recent passing of DMX, we know that he started off with that kind of with his addiction because someone laced a blunt. And if just going back to that, if you don't know what's in it, if you don't know what it is, don't use it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
From one
I
of my
say
viewers, that baby wasn't smoking no weed. That sounds like crack.
Not the
Oh,
crack baby. Oh my god.
I'm
But do you guys have anything else before we get up out of here? Any final words for the people?
I say this since today is 4:20, it's only 3:30, so the rest of the day is still ahead of us. Whatever you do, just do it responsibly. Just be aware of your surroundings because I was driving there early off my PV people. The laws are out. They are working double time today. So be on your P's and Q's. You driving, make sure you use your signals because y'all good with not using y'all signals. Use your signals. Stop at them stop signs. You
red
know what I'm
And
light.
don't be
saying?
speeding.
Stop it. Yeah, don't be veering to the left or right. All that. Just be on your P's and Q's. Do everything responsibly and know what you're doing. That's all. So
Cam, you have anything for the people?
He basically said it all. Just be responsible, you guys. People do have families. Remember, you have a family. If you don't, I mean, everybody has a family. Just be careful. Whatever you do, do it responsibly. We're all trying to live our life because we only do this life one time. So just be responsible.
Right. And I just want to leave off with shouting out a corporation that has been kind of praised for what they've done with kind of marijuana awareness. Ben and Jerry's has been one of the more not loud but prominent voices in speaking on kind of the injustices with cannabis use in America and kind of the imbalance and incarcerations based on that. So if you can just check that out, check out their campaign and check out some of the ice cream if you want. But
that's good ice cream. That's pretty good ice cream.
but yeah,
But yeah,
we're just gonna say, guys, just be safe. Um, be diligent about your business and have a great day. Have a great 420.
Yes, sir.
I'm Morgan Hendricks.
I'm
I'm Cameron
Armani
Smith.
Davis.
Oh,
This
sorry, I'm
PVO.
Cameron Smith.
And
Oh, we
don't
did it
forget to
again.
check out the show every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. We'll be right back at it. See you guys next time.
Y'all be safe.